Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk, and happy Monday again. I know we're getting the week going here.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty nice weekend, temperature-wise.
Oh, I know, exactly. You can't really complain much. It was good for football. If you guys did go to the Michigan State game, they were home. They got a win.
Yeah.
After a few weeks of not such a good streak, losing streak, but they won.
They needed a win.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool to see that, and nice temperatures. And
you're at the Michigan game, you're saying?
I was at the Michigan game too. Yeah, I layered up. I had like 3 pairs of leggings underneath my pants, and then 4 shorts and shirts and
like the shorts and the pants. Oh my gosh.
And I was warm. I took off my jacket during the game.
Yeah, no, it was very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. So no complaints there, and it's going to be a great week ahead of us. Obviously, I'm not going to be talking about the weather. That's what Justin's on standby to do. But yeah, we have a great show for you on Studio 10. But speaking on that note of weather, I think it was because, last week we did see some of those flakes for the first of the season.
Yeah.
I feel like even though we're all Michiganders, we've lived here for 20 plus years, 30 years, 40 years, whoever, no matter what, the first time it starts heavily snow, everyone forgets how to drive, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are being a little bit proactive here on Studio 10 to kind of talk a little bit about, okay, and yes, the snow last week was, I don't want to say like a fluke, but something that we don't see that much often. So kind of figuring out between now and those first falls, what you guys should be doing in terms of driving, what officers look for, that sort of thing. So definitely some safety tips, but more proactive ones.
Anything of what you should keep in your car.
Yes, keep in your car.
Okay, that's good.
And also too, if you have to get new tires, I know I just had to get new tires. I was like, I'm going to do it before it starts snowing, because guess what everyone's going to want to do when it starts snowing? Get tires. And so then it's just those are, you're on that waiting list for that or getting it in. So just trying to use this time to okay, I should get new brakes now. Get everything done now instead of when it does start snowing.
And you don't like doing things in the cold.
Oh, exactly.
You get a little lazy. At least I do.
Yeah, so Claudia's going to be chatting about that, or has a package about that. And then also, too, we are talking about November, obviously. And this is kind of more on I don't want to say I don't want to bring it down kind of note, but November is Child Grief Awareness Month.
Yeah.
But the good thing is there is a place here in Lansing called Ellie's Place that we do so much for.
Yeah.
We do a lot of those races. We partner with them. So they're using this month, and the way that they just talk about grief is just so helpful, and they're so open about it. That's why I'm yeah, it is a serious topic, but how we can chat about it and have these open conversations, have these programs are so important. And it's easy to talk about it because of places like Ellie's. So today on Studio 10, we're talking a little bit about how now November is a time of year for that awareness because of the holidays. So, holidays are great, but, not if you've lost someone. This is the first, Thanksgiving without, whatever, someone that you love. So we're going to be chatting a little bit, having those conversations, being aware of it, and then, of course, how you can help out organizations like Ellie's Place so that they can help more kids in our area. But, yeah, they have programs for as young as, 3-year-olds, young kids. So definitely very important. So we're going to be chatting and having great conversations about that, as well as I remember it's a Monday. We've been doing a lot of Thanksgiving prep, so my mind is about turkeys. But another thing too, you should be marking your calendar for are the season that Lansing Symphony Orchestra has going on. So we are chatting with the director to talk a little bit about some of the the bigger performances to keep on that calendar. They have a Harry Potter one where you watch the first movie and then listen to the music being performed live. And then they have a very special event happening this Friday, so we'll be talking about that. But also too, if those big events aren't your speed and you're looking more for a smaller, more intimate concert, or one where you can learn something, they have some free concerts too around the holidays. So definitely you'll want to tune in for that to see how you can get involved in all of the Lansing Symphony Orchestra fund. We have so much talent here in the area.
I know, you're always bringing on talent to Studio 10, and I'm putting in my IFB, getting ready for the little first F4 or Studio 10 teas around 3:30, and I'm oh, they're really good. I should listen to them. Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. So definitely tune in, and we have a little bit of everything. I know we're going to be talking about that deer that wanted to make that appearance.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear, yes. So a lot of little fun that we're having here on Studio 10.
All right. Yeah, I know you just had a lot of things, but of course people can check it out at 3 o'clock on Studio 10. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And that's coming up in a little under 55 minutes. So there you go. You can check out Studio 10 if you wanna. If you're interested in anything that Nicole mentioned and you can't watch it at 3 o'clock, maybe you're busy, or hey, maybe if you just turned away from the TV for a second and you wanted to go back and watch it, you can always look up at WILX Studio 10 for any more content that you want to check out. But of course, we want to check out the forecast right now because this morning I was telling Justin I walked to my car and I thought I was going to get blown away. I was like, where is this wind coming from?
Yeah, we've had some winds today. In fact, 45 mile per hour gust in Lansing earlier.
Yeah.
And so certainly it's been a breezy day to say the least. Mild day, though, too. It's been a south-southwest wind bringing in some warmth. There were a couple of storms that passed through in the northern sections, but a lot of us have avoided rain today. It's ended up turning into just a mild Monday across the area.
Yeah, no, temperatures outside feel nice, but yeah, with the wind, like you mentioned, especially 45 miles per hour, you're like,
Yeah.
can't really enjoy this too much.
Right, and we've been fortunate to not really see much in the way of power outages or anything. Hopefully
Yeah.
that continues to be the case. The winds should be a little weaker late this afternoon than they were so far today, and so that's good news for us going forward, too.
Yeah, all right, well, let's take a look outside right now, see what's going on.
Yeah, we got a peek at the Farm Bureau insurance cam, which you do see from time to time is shaking a little bit out there. We do have the wind blowing, and you can certainly see the trees down there on the screen are blowing around as well. Temperatures, though, have warmed up. We are at 60 degrees officially, and so pretty good out there. The winds are at 16, steady, but they're gusting a bit higher than that. Still out there this afternoon. Right now, about 15 to 20, generally speaking. Jackson's got the highest winds at the moment, and we again see that the gusts are highest there too. They're close to 30 in places like Ann Arbor, Jackson, Howell, and the like. Everyone else, though, still has those gusts close to 25. And this evening, temps will slowly cool down, but hey, getting to 60 this time of year is pretty good. Jackson's at 62. And we'll certainly take that when our normal high is about 10 degrees cooler than that, and we've run cool more than often than not lately. Here's the hour-by-hour look at temperatures, which again keeps us fairly mild. All the way through midnight, we're in the 50s. That's pretty good for the time of year, especially after sunset now occurring at, well, just before 5:30. We're still going to be upper 50s by then, and so mild night by all mid-Michigan means this time of year. There are those showers and storms, and you can see lots of thunder and lightning with those as they skated by near North St. John's in the M21 corridor. A few pop-up showers followed that line as it passed through. They really haven't amounted to much, and places who saw that include folks in the Irish Hills and the like. But everyone else not really seeing much this afternoon. We've been underneath clouds.
Wow.
But this is a large system that really has kind of bypassed most of us to the north. Severe thunderstorm warning had been issued in far northwest Gratiot County. This one, not Jackson County. They haven't seen any storms today. But up that way, there were some hailstones being reported. Now, they weren't getting to too large of a threshold, which is good. And you can see that on the far northern shield of this system, there's some snow as well. And so that's kind of what we've been dealing with across the area today. We're on the warm side of this system, and the wind gusts in the hour by hour, again, going to stay close to 25 to 30 through this evening, but they are diminishing. Notice they are still out of the south-southwest, but then we eventually see the direction flip as we head into the overnight and to tomorrow. While the winds aren't as strong tomorrow, and the gusts, we only record them when they're higher than 15. So you notice the winds are going to be lower than that tomorrow, but they are northwesterly, and the direction is important here too. So
Will that bring more colder temperatures?
And that's exactly right.
There we
Yep.
go.
See, we're following along here, and that's exactly right. That's what it'll do. So instead of bringing in the warm air from the south, brings in the cold air from the north. And so that's what we'll do tomorrow. That's why temperatures will trend it a little bit cooler. So the hour by hour again this afternoon, we are a little warmer than the models are showing here, generally speaking. We'll go back down tonight, though, into the mid-40s. And you'll see this right here. Temperatures don't move very much tomorrow. They're pretty steady in those mid to upper 40s. We maybe get to near 50 at some point in the day, but it's going to be a dry day, just feels a little cooler. We got the breezes out there as well. Wednesday will then bring a couple opportunities for some rain showers, and you see that here skating by. They're really spotty, but I think most folks end up seeing rain at some point or another throughout our day on Wednesday. And so the 10-day forecast will bring us back down. Highs again tomorrow through the rest of the week. They're going to be close to or just below 50. The overnight lows stay in the upper 30s to low 40s. However, at the end of the week, we get into a drier stretch where we're able to cool down at night a few times in a row. We're looking at the whole weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, numbers going down near or below freezing. And so that means if we clear the skies out a bit, we deal with frost on several of those mornings. And then we have highs only staying in the 40s through the weekend as well. But there are some promising signs of a warm-up heading into next week. I do think numbers likely come back up into the 50s, which, again, we talked about in our shows earlier, but on Friday, the average high dips to 49. And so technically Thursday will be right at normal at 50. Friday will be right at normal at 49. And the next time our average high in Lansing gets to 50 is not until March 28th. And so we got a ways to go until we get back there. But anytime we top 50 this late in the year, it's a good sign. And we're doing that on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those days.
I'm liking that.
That's not bad to have 6 days that are getting above 50 in the 10-day whenever you're in November here in our state. And so we'll take it, and it looks like the stretch is dry, too, past the showers Wednesday for the most part. And so that gets us into a calm and quiet stretch of weather, which we are grateful for, especially in November. We know that certainly we can get the winds to pick up this time of year. We've all heard the Gordon Lightfoot song about the Edmund Fitzgerald and the gales of November coming early.
Oh, good little tie in there.
Fortunately, we don't deal with as much here, but the gales of November, they could be blowing, and they're not over most of the next few days. Really just today that we're getting a little bit of a taste of that. But no sinking ships out there, hopefully, we have to worry about.
Yeah, no, hopefully we're okay.
Yeah.
Yikes. But not a bad forecast. I would say, again, today is 60, but when you factor in the wind and some of those rain chances, not the best. I was looking at the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like you said. Those are looking real good with a little bit more sun, too.
Yeah, that's nice. That's going to be especially nice this time of year. The clouds tend to dominate, and we're getting less and less daylight by the day, and now the sun goes down before 5:30. And so anytime you have the opportunity to see the sun, even if it's while you're at work or during the day or whatever else is happening, it's good to have that work into the forecast, too.
I know, I was going to say, how are you adjusting with the whole daylight saving time coming to an end?
It's my personal take is I would love to stay on daylight time. And I know there are people who have good reasons both for and against, but I just love the later sunsets. I'm one of those people who likes to enjoy the time in the evening when we've got it. Not so much the morning. If it's dark and I got to get up and go to work, that's not a big deal to me. But, having that daylight in the evening for things, I tend to enjoy that a little bit more. And so if we stayed in standard time, we'd never get those 9 p.m. and later sunsets like we do in the summer, which I love. And we also would, I guess just dealing year-round with the earlier sunsets. I'm not a big fan, but it's something that we still do, something we'll do until we spring forward again after the winter's done. And so we got to just kind of tough it out. I don't know. It's tough, though, this time of year when people are getting up, driving to work, and it's dark. And then the sun's up all day, they go home, and now it's already dark again. And so we're just
time for bed, I guess.
Yeah, just getting into that time of year. But the good news is in December, even actually before Christmas, we will start gaining daylight again. And so we're only losing daylight until the winter solstice. After that, we'll start going back the other way, and it'll be nice to start adding more daylight. But, we still got a little ways to go. Although we are closing in on some holidays, 17 days from Thanksgiving, and I believe we're 49 from Christmas, and
you're giving me the countdown
56
earlier.
to the new year, and so it's all coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. So prepare for the holidays because they are approaching quickly. Holiday spending and all of the weather that comes with it. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, you mentioned, we're talking about the earlier sunsets, and a good place to check that and the changing weather is actually the First Alert weather app.
Yeah, it got that information on there as well, and so that's good to have. In addition, of course, to your daily video updates, which provide the hour-by-hour forecast for future, current, and past radar, everything that you need to know to help plan your day. This is updated with frequency throughout the day. And again, we all continue to do this, both, all of us, myself, Darren, Andy, and Colton, we all are constantly updating this and providing all your sorts of different updates that you need to make sure it is the best product, not only here in mid-Michigan, but across the entire state. And the WILX weather in the search bar is all you need to do to get that, both in Google Play or the App Store. Once again, as always, it is absolutely free to use. Sometimes you got to deal with a little advertisement in there too, but hey, you know what? It's what pays the bills, and you get your nice, good forecast there. It's good to have.
Yeah, and so many different varieties to see your forecast, whether it's like the temperatures or the satellite radar, like everything that Justin mentioned. So make sure to download that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Justin. We got a lot more coming up during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. You already heard Nicole touch on Studio 10, which is coming up in 45 minutes here. But here's what we have coming up during First at 4 today. Starting with Mid-Michigan Matters, we have a member from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services coming in to talk about their resources for the community, more specifically housing resources. So the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has a Good Housing Equals Good Health program. They're going to be coming in today to talk about the many different ways that you can benefit from good housing. And not just that, but talking about the affordability as well as the accessibility and just community members being able to be a resident and get that good housing. And then coming up on News 10 at 5, Election Day is tomorrow. Amaya Koznicki spoke with city clerks about how they're preparing for voters. Again, the polls open at 7 a.m. They close at 8 p.m. Also, under Proposal 2, you can now bring military ID, passport, anything of the sort. So just make sure to check that out too. Coming up on News 10 at 5:30, Joey Ellis will be live from the Breslin for the home opener of the MSU basketball game, or as the Spartans take the James Madison University Dukes at 8:30 tonight. So get ready for that. And then coming up on News 10 at 6, as many small private colleges see a decline with enrollment, some of these small schools are seeing a large uptick with enrollment through athletics. All right, student athletes, we'll be talking more on that. So Mars Anderson is at Spring Arbor University as they are talking about their successes. We do have more reporters here to share what they have coming up, and standing next to me right now is Justin Kent. If I get rid of this little full screen here. Boom, there you are, magic. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, not too bad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got coming up today?
Today was pretty cool. We were down at the Board of Education room in Lansing for the Lansing Public School District. They announced they're putting a huge priority on mental health, and this is great. And this is kind of unique because it's not just addressing mental health issues with students, but it's also providing that access to parents and faculty members as well. So that's really cool. So they got a good partnership, with Care Solace Mental Health, so it's going to be really cool. I'll have more on that story coming up for you guys in our 5 o'clock. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Sounds good. I know that we also have Deanna standing by real quick, but I do want to share what Aaron has coming up before we send it to Deanna.
Thanks, Taylor. I'm Aaron Bowling, and today I'm speaking with the latest candidate to throw his hat in the ring for Michigan's U.S. Senate seat. Peter Meyer announced he is running for the seat this morning, hoping to replace Democrat incumbent Debbie Stabenow, who is retiring after holding the seat since 2001. I'm also speaking with some of the people running against him, and I'll have what they have to say about their campaigns on News 10 at 6. Taylor, back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Aaron. And like I said, I promised you Deanna Giles would be here, and here she is. Now, you are working on a story and some developments that actually happened over this weekend on Michigan State University's campus.
Actually,
we switched stories. Never mind.
Sorry,
My apologies.
Yes, there's been a
You've
little
been
bit
very
of a
busy
all day today. But I'm actually working on the original story, the Ingham County 911 Dispatch Center. They got some new technology coming out. Basically, it's helping first responders gain a better understanding of what's happening on the scene. So callers can send in pictures, they can send in videos, or they can even live stream as well.
Wow.
So that's a new cool feature that they're starting to do just to kind of bring in the advancements of technology.
All right, that is cool. I know. I feel like providing people with more access, and especially, dispatch centers, that's important too.
Right. Yep. So you all can catch the story on, I'll be on at 5:30. So that's when I'll have all the details.
All right. Thank you, Deanna. We'll let you get back to work. Sorry about that. I know we were talking earlier. She had to do a little switcheroo, so there we go.
All right,
I will show, of course, thank you. I do want to show one more thing before we get out of here. It is the You're Not Alone mental health series. I'm sure you've seen here on News 10. We're not only doing interviews on Mid-Michigan Matters, we also have our different anchors and different reporters out doing stories with the community, talking about their mental well-being, and maybe, your emotional well-being is feeling a little bit shaken up. No matter what you're going through, know that you're not alone. We have resources available if you scan that QR code on the right side of your screen. A list of resources from around the Mid-Michigan area, no matter where you live. If it's in Clinton County, Eaton, Ingham, Shiawassee, Jackson, Lenawee, I'm probably missing a few, but yes, if you go scan that QR code, you will see a list, and whether it's a resource you want to use or not, or maybe, hey, it'll help guide you toward another resource, feel free to check it out. And it might not just be for you. Maybe you know someone going through a little bit of a tough time. Feel free to go scan that QR code. I know I get a little bit more down. It's hard to be peppy when, the sun's not up as much. So scanning that QR code, knowing where to go, is always a great tool. So I will give one last look outside. It is our Mason Skycam taking a live look. This is Keene store right there. So let me find the Mason indicator. There we go. But like Justin was saying earlier, you're going to see a lot of clouds. It doesn't look too windy. Oh, actually, no. If you take a look at the bottom left, you're seeing those flags blowing. So yes, if you're out on the roads, you might want to hold extra tight onto that steering wheel. And yeah, just be careful walking around. If you have anything that could fly away, be mindful of that. Until then, everyone, we hope you have a great rest of your Monday.